That's our new thing, right? Ayo, right?
Ayo.
So welcome to Deep.Organic.Phuckery, and it's another episode 6, is it?
Season 2, episode 6.
There you go. And my name is Damion, and you know I'm the man. And I'm here with my co-host,
Chris Strikes.
And today, we have some amazing female energy in here. We have a special guest host.
Very special guest.
I've been watching her since she was about 21. I think the first interview I saw with her, she was 21. Mm-hmm. And I watched an interview recently, you did about 10 years ago, with, I forget the gentleman's name. Was it on CBC? A Caucasian gentleman, he was you telling your life story. And I felt like it was super amazing. You know, the way you articulated yourself, the way you went into the story, the way you talked about your, why you do what you do. And I feel honored to be in your presence. So we're talking about Donisha Prendergast. And I'm not going to say much about her. She's going to say everything you want to know about herself. So I don't need to introduce her like that. But Donisha, welcome.
Thank you. Greetings, everybody. Yeah, man.
Yes. Oh, it's amazing having you on the show.
Thank you.
Can't wait to get into it.
Right. And so, guys, how is the new year treating you? Like, it's not treating me so good so far. Like, especially with Bet365. Listen, man.
Come off that.
It just started.
Listen, huh?
It just started.
Yeah, but the new year is just, I can't win nothing. I can't, it's just a lot of work at work. It's just too much. What is it?
We're only day 8.
I know.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough for me so far.
You can't win nothing. There's a lot of work at work.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Like, I don't understand.
All right, so let me break it down for you.
Yeah, please, because people don't have work. There's some people who don't have work to have work.
So now you're doing that thing where you're like, okay, at least you have that.
Okay, gratitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a must.
Okay. Okay.
Let's
all right. So I know.
Okay, insert.
Yeah. So for being insert, eh? So for me, it's like, all right. So me and Chris, we're on this Bet365. Have you been doing it lately?
Yeah. I've won a couple hockey bets.
Have you played Bet365 ever?
No, I don't bet.
You don't bet?
No.
You don't gamble?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a little bit fun, right? So we do it for fun, and I can't win anything. That's what I'm talking about.
Strategy.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
Doing something that you think is right, that is just the wrong thing.
Oh boy, this is going to be a lot of conversation. This is going to be a lot of conversation. I can see it. I can sense it. But that's what I mean when I say I can't win anything. And as far as work, it's the new year, and this is what happened. So at my job, right? So we kind of took it easy for the 2 weeks break. Christmas is coming. Just take it easy. But I didn't expect that when we're starting up, we're just going to go straight into it. And that's what's happening. So it's a lot of work.
How old are you? How many years have you been working?
A lot.
How many Christmases
I guarantee you I'm older than you. Huh?
Worked through.
How many Christmases?
You're older than me.
You want to bet?
Yeah.
You want to bet 365?
I thought you didn't bet. I'm older than you for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What year are you?
In the 80s.
Oh, so am I.
Okay, so now let's go down to the specifics.
Yeah, is it an even number or an odd number?
Odd number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What does that mean?
Yeah, so we're close. It's either I'm older than you by a year or you're older than me by 1 year. That's all it is.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did you meet your grandpa? Did you see him in the flesh? No. All right. I think I got you.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't meet him, but I could have.
Okay.
So I think I got you. I'm April too.
April.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 80s April, and I could have met him in the flesh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're older.
So I got you beat. All right.
This is why I don't bet.
Right, there you go.
But I had something for you though. So, like, name 3 things that you're grateful for.
3 things that I'm grateful about.
Yeah.
All right. So 1, I'm grateful that we could sit here at this moment in my abode, right, and have a conversation and just be comfortable. You know what I mean? It could have been different. That's one. Thing number 2, I have a job. I think that was a very good point that you brought up. And thing number 3, I think I'm healthy. I'm grateful for that. I don't have any complaints as far as I know. So those are my 3. And I could go on and on and on.
But it sounds like you're winning.
See, I knew this was gonna come here. I knew I was setting myself up.
But you just have to change your mindset. That's all.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was
You just have
coming.
to change your
Okay.
mindset.
Perspective.
Okay, Donisha, this is the thing.
Okay, yeah.
When I say I wasn't winning, I was more specific. I was talking about 365. Bet 365.
Okay. Well, be more specific. Like, don't make people think that, oh, you're, Because I was about to feel sorry for you until I was just like, hold
So
on.
you can't be sorry for me anymore?
No, because did he just say he's because he's working too much?
Yes.
What is he talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
All right, cool. All right, no problem. So how was the New Year for you?
Yeah, we're yesterday was actually Ethiopian Christmas, which is what we celebrate in my community, in my family.
Okay.
So, it's been beautiful. It's been a painful Christmas too.
So can I say Merry Christmas then? Or
You said Malcolm Gena.
Huh?
Malcolm Gena.
Malcolm Gena.
Okay.
Malcolm Gena.
That's Tigania?
Gena. No, it means...
Amharic?
It is Amharic.
Okay.
Yeah. It basically means Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas.
Okay.
The New Year in Ethiopia is actually September the 11th.
Wow.
You know what's so funny? So there's an Ethiopian lady at work, and she told me this last week. So yeah,
That's good that you remember.
I do remember.
Ethiopia is also 7 years behind, like their calendar.
Yes.
They use the Gregorian or the
No.
we use the Julian and they use the Gregorian. Or it's the other way around.
We use the Gregorian.
And they use the Julian.
calendar. Yeah, and they also have 13 months.
Yeah.
Whereas we have 12, So
Right.
they have 13 months of sunshine, is what they say of Ethiopia.
That's amazing. So you celebrated. What did you do for Christmas?
It's Ethiopian food, and it was just with family.
You ate Ethiopian food?
Yeah, it's so delicious. Have you never had Ethiopian food? Oh man,
You're missing
out.
out.
I didn't say I didn't. I didn't answer yet. I didn't answer yet.
Why did you have to think about that?
You right?
I have.
Okay.
I don't know the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot with your hands too. Right?
Yes.
I have.
Yeah.
Do I guess the next question is, do I like it? So I think in this sense, I'm a typical Jamaican. I'm not very adventurous when it comes to food. I kind of like my own food, and I'll eat other food, but it's like, okay, when can I go back to my? You know what I mean? I'm that kind of person. I'm sorry.
You know what?
But Ethiopian food is delicious. It's fine, but it's not for me.
It's okay. It's okay. We live in Toronto. Toronto is such a diversity when it comes down to flavors and experiences, culinary experiences. Like,
Right.
yeah, be a little bit more.
Yeah, I am. I'm adventurous enough where I could do some stuff, but my preference is what I do.
Of course.
You know
Of
what I mean?
course.
So, yeah. So, Chris,
Yeah.
how about, what was your New Year so
Yeah,
far?
the New Year's great so far. I haven't been losing as much on Bet365. I've actually.
Have you been winning?
Yes, actually, I won last night's Winnipeg Jets against Phoenix Coyotes. So I won.
Over?
The Jets over Coyotes.
No, but I did you do over?
No. I didn't do over under. I think I just did money line.
Money line straight up.
I did money line first to 2 goals, and I did player props as well too. So I did that. I have a few going on for tonight's game, but mostly I've just been getting ready to move to Vancouver.
Yeah. So just so
Yeah.
you guys know, Chris is leaving us. Moment of silence.
Unfortunately. So so I've been getting ready for that. I had to change my flight yesterday. I've been packing the last couple of days. I helped my boy move over the weekend. And actually what's really cool about the New Year so far is, and I think this started from just before the New Year too, but I was like in a rut or just drained. But I don't know, something just kicked in and my creative juices got flowing again. So
Okay.
I'm really excited for that. Really excited for the New Year's and where that takes me,
Right.
creative wise. And yeah, no, it's started off really well. We're here, we're recording. This is good times. Like, I don't know. I definitely feel a lot more positive than maybe like 3 weeks ago. So yeah.
Okay, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let the positivity just kind of
rain
flow
on you.
over here. Yeah, just like I'm smudging. Okay, positivity. Yeah. Okay, so that's dope. I'm happy. At least 2 out of 3 are having a good time. So let's keep it up. That's a good odd. Yeah. Okay, so what's trending? What are some of the things that are trending?
Well, everybody's talking about this Cat Williams interview.
Oh man.
Cat Williams went off on everybody in the comedy space, in the black comedy space specifically.
Yeah.
On Club Shay Shay, and like what do you guys think about that interview?
Okay,
what he was talking about.
I could start. Let me start with this. The first thing that came to mind when he was talking, and I hear what he's saying, but the way he was doing it, just I don't know. For some reason, narcissism just kept blinking. Like, it's just, I don't like when people always play the victim. Like, they don't do anything. It's just everybody else is doing everything to them. And I kind of got the sense of that when he was saying, Steve Harvey and Cedric and Earthquake and all these guys were just against him, and the fraternity and the they of the Hollywood and this. And I'm like, why are you just always a guy who's always getting the bad hand? I don't understand it. And it's just screamed narcissism to me. And then a couple of times, even when he talked about Suge Knight and how he's loyal to Suge Knight because Suge Knight came to him for help. I'm like, who are you? Who do you think you are to be talking this kind of way? But I don't have his experiences, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's just a sense I got from the conversation. Overall, obviously, it's going viral. 24 million people viewing it. So there must be something to it. But that's what I felt.
That interview was crazy, was super entertaining.
Yeah.
The thing with that two things that I really got out of that is, and this is a two-sided thing, or a double side of the sword type of thing, where it's like black people tearing down each other. So Cat on one hand is tearing down, the people who he's talking about, and then based on what he's saying, it sounds like he has been torn down as well too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's debatable with how true or not that is. Mm-hmm. But there's that, and then there's the joke stealing that he talks about as well too, which is something that I heard D.L. Hughley talk about in past interviews as well before. Mm-hmm. And D.L. Hughley talked about some of the controversies and the beef with the Kings of Comedy tour, and those are some of the things that that Cat touched on. And for me, like, those are some of the deeper elements to that interview. Is this black tearing down black, and one creative stealing jokes from another creative, or not even crediting them, because I was listening to a reaction video on that, and they were talking about it's not that they stole the jokes, or it's not that a comedian steals the jokes or whatever, but it's like you just take it and you don't give me any credit, or you don't say that, like, yo.
You think that's a black thing though?
Well, not necessarily, but I think that so comedy, like, people steal jokks, and it's not specific to a race. Not specific to a race.
It's true. I'm listening.
But there's like another, like, we don't really see like white people like coming on and doing like things like what Cat Williams did, right? As entertaining as it was, right? And there is that line of, like, yeah, it's an entertaining interview and whatnot, but then how many people take that interview and give it a lot of weight and a lot of significance to it, right? Mm-hmm. But there is that thing where, like, oftentimes we miss out or fail to, that's a better way to put it, fail to credit each other for our creative work, and I know
that's a serious thing. Like, yeah, okay, Cat, it was entertaining. Yeah, there might have been elements of narcissism, you know, but I also saw like somebody who went through something, you know, like he experienced
Trauma.
something, yeah, and he's responding in a way where he's just like, it's his character to be straight up. That's his character.
True.
You know, so he's not being out of character. He could have done it more gracefully, but like certain elements of what he was saying like really struck a chord with me, because like, bro, going through having your creative work stolen and you given no credit in public with no accountability, and
that happened to
people who took the work just continue to parade and to misguide people into how it happened. It does a fucking number on your mental, on your emotional, on your spiritual, on your physical, like on everything. Because
Come, Donisha, talk the truth.
No,
Talk the things then. What happened? What happened?
you love the mix up.
No. I just want. You just seem like the way you're. I can feel it. I can feel the passion when you're saying
Yeah,
this.
well,
So something
I'm
happened.
a very passionate person anyway. Right. You know, like you know, and I'm also very careful in how I communicate intentionally. So, you know, because the intention is not to destroy people, because humans make bad decisions.
Right.
You know, we're not trying to criminalize people. We're just really trying to hold us accountable to our actions so we can make better decisions.
Right.
Especially when we profess to be leaders in our community. Mm-hmm. It's important. And it's hard when it comes down to the black community to hold ourselves and each other really accountable, because we also don't want anybody else to be able to throw bullets or throw stones at us, rather.
Right.
You know, so it's hard. Like I helped a friend of mine write a project, create a project, execute the production of the project.
Right.
And when it came down to it, you know, they didn't want to give me any of my credits. Any of my credits.
But what was the pretense? What was the excuse that they gave?
Too much liberty, you know.
Right.
Yeah, man. You give people an inch and they take a mile. You play small and then them just take everything and play big.
Okay.
Is it because I was going through the process at the time of getting my paper sorted out, because I was just a student.
Right.
So in order for you to get funding for a project, you have to, all of the lead creatives have to be Canadian.
Status, right.
Okay, cool. I understand. Cool, no problem. We're gonna do the right thing when the opportunity presents
I see.
itself.
I see where this is going.
But the opportunity presented itself, and they didn't do the right thing, because at the end of the day, there are certain credits that a film has to meet in order for it to be recognized as a Canadian film.
Right.
And one of the mandatory conditions is that the lead actors have to be Canadian.
Right.
And in this film, it wasn't so. And so, at some point, they knew that they could have given me my every credit that I deserved. I can't really go into too much details because it went legal.
Right.
It had to go legal. And
is it resolved now?
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Okay.
Because, you know, I just had to make a decision that I can't allow it to take up any more space, because even though they said that they were going to do the right thing on paper, they still didn't.
Right.
Because when the movie premiere, they're going to tell me, oh, by the way, this version is not the version that has your credits on it because it didn't make it. We don't have that copy with us.
What? Like that's
that's
crazy. What do you mean?
After we go through months of legal,
right?
Now you're gonna say to me that it didn't. The version didn't make it, and I must just be okay about it.
Right.
You know.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, but do you think this is a black thing though? This is the question I've been asking.
No, I think it's a thing, because the thing is that with white people, they just go legal. Them don't need to do this, oh, I feel so emotional or whatever it is. Them just get them lawyer to send you a thing and then resolve it.
Right.
You know, but with black people,
the sentimentalism is like, okay, you're my friend.
It's so sentimental, and then you almost feel like you can't, because once they start to rise, then it becomes like a he said, she said kind of a thing, and so you don't want to engage in that, because then you diminish yourself and your capacity.
Right.
You know? So you just humble and hope karma, like we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Karma resolves things, but anyways.
And I wonder why that dynamic is, like, why, like, we as black people, we're not so quick to go the lawyer route. We're not so quick to be like, oh, you messed me over, so yo, you're gonna hear from my lawyer from now on. You know what I mean?
First of all, it costs us money. That's unnecessary. I spent almost $20,000.
Wow.
That I did not have, that I did not need to. Because, like, I was giving them too many opportunities to do the right thing and they just didn't. Right. The movie's supposed to premiere at TIP, and I've been trying to have a conversation for 3 months with everybody in the room so everybody can understand my full contribution, because everybody don't seem to really understand. And 7 days before the movie premiere, you guys are going to say, okay, we have 30 minutes. And then when we finally talk about everything, like, we're going to forget that I helped to write, produce, I coached those actors. So, like, I gave you access to Jamaica in a way that you wouldn't have access. Like, I roll out every red carpet, and then when we come back to Canada, you want to play like I'm some little dibby, the thing get emotional.
Right. I can see.
Like, when I say Cat Williams, it's just like I see all of that performance and thing, but like I say deeper layers too. Because it really is very painful when somebody tries to, when you realize how much it is that they've taken.
Mm-hmm.
You have a few decisions to make. It's either you're going to get mad, you're going to get sad, or you're going to find a way to really deal with it.
Or recreate.
No, but you're going to continue to create, but like it's an emotional process you go through, because then you grieve to,
Right.
Because these are people who you may have loved or respected, and the fact that they could do that to you, and then now you have to think about not just the emotional, now you have to think about your career.
Right.
Because what they've done is that they've taken your craft, they've given you no credit for it, so what you had anticipated to happen isn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
Or that laneway is no longer open. So there are different layers, and I can see that Cathy's getting older. Like, and him is just like, yeah, let's talk truth now, because like, what else is there to do? Yeah,
but you see, I concur with what you're saying. I think most of what you're saying, well, obviously I'm not a creative, so I don't know how it feels to have something that I've created or helped to create been stolen from me. I've never done that. So I can't speak in the same space that you're speaking in. However, I do understand what you're saying. But see, with Cat Williams though, that part of it I get, but I just can't understand this constant
you think that he's always like that?
No, it's not always like that. It's just I'm talking about the one interview. Mm-hmm. There's so much in it against him. What did you do? What have you ever done for people to do all this? Like, it's and the part of it that was really annoying to me, he didn't answer straight questions. Like, he asked him a question and he just kept like getting out of it and just saying something else. What did you think, sir? And I'm like, just answer the question. You know what I mean? And that was a little bit annoying to me. Yeah. But I just felt like it was just too much. Like, it's too one-sided. You can't be the victim all the time. You have to be, at some point you're a perpetrator. You're doing something. What are you doing? I just didn't hear enough. I hope
he's being smart. Like, I hope he's working on like a life story where he tells all of those answers.
Right. Oh, he's going on tour soon.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's going on tour soon.
Like, he can't give everything right here, right now.
Right.
Because he probably talks about all of the shit that he's done in his life on his shows.
Right.
Because
like, I've heard some stuff about him. I don't know if it's true. Like, he doesn't really address it, but I don't know if it's true or not. Including, remember when he was knocked out by this kid?
I do. About like a
little boy just knocked him out.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you're a grown man. Like, I don't understand it.
What?
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, for me, the whole interview, I think it was fuckery. What do you think?
It's
yeah, what's
deep.
I mean, like it's Deep.Organic.Phuckery.
It's all of them. It's all of
that
them.
shit.
Because the organic element of it too was like how did it start off? Like, Shannon's like, so Kat, how you been? And it's just like, for like 2
I saw little snippets of it. I couldn't watch the whole interview.
I watched the whole thing from front to back, and I thought Shannon was I thought Shannon was perfect for that interview because, as Chris was saying earlier, as you were saying earlier, if it was someone who knew about comedy and could push back, maybe he wouldn't be as open. It'd be more defensive.
Yeah.
But because Shannon wasn't pushing back, he's like, "Cat, no man, cat," and he wasn't saying much. He's like, "Come on, cat, you can't say that, cat. Cedric is my boy." That's all he was doing really. And because of that, Cat was like,
hilarious.
Cat was like, he just felt like because you could tell when you watch an interview, he got more confident in saying his stuff, right? And I felt like it was perfect. Shannon was perfect. And sometimes you never know with these things. It's the perfect storm that gets you, because Shannon has never had 24 million views in anything.
And he was not expecting that.
No, he was not
And
expecting.
Cat Williams came to say what he said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, and he had an unnatural allegiance to losers.
Which is unlike him.
Unlike him. But yeah, I thought it was funky. I didn't say anything deep about it, and I don't know if he also said the truth about his life story. He said he left his home when he was 13, went to Miami. It just sounded a little bit off. You know what I mean? His parents were Jehovah's Witnesses, and his dad was too strict, and his dad was beating him.
But why does it sound off?
13 to leave Ohio to Miami?
What are you talking about? Humans have all kinds of crazy experiences. What's the craziest thing that has ever happened to you?
Not that. I've been stabbed.
Okay.
I'm not saying we don't have crazy experiences. I'm just saying at 13 to leave from Ohio to Miami, he said he had $2,000 in his pocket. It just sounds a little bit odd. I'm not saying he's lying. I don't know. I don't know him.
No,
it does sound odd.
It is odd, but like it could very well be true. Like he would be stupid in this time to say something like that and it not be true, because journalists are really doing their homework.
But they are. People have cut back on him with certain things that he said. A couple of things that he said, people are fact checking him. Like, for example, Ice Cube came out and said, it's not true that you said we had rape written into the script of Friday with Money Mike. Ice Cube said that was never a part of the script. So there's certain things that he was saying. And also he said he read 3,000 books for between the age of 4 and 12. Yeah, per year.
Yeah.
3,000 books is a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
When you're 4, you're not reading 3,000 books. I don't care who you are. Yeah. He said between when he was 4 and 12 or something.
Something like that, yeah. Like some young ages.
Or 8 and 12. Some like, nah, that's not happening.
Even like to read 3,000 books between those years, like that's a lot.
Yeah,
like,
I think he was.
That's like 3 books that's like 3 books a day or something.
This is what I'm saying. Like I don't. And he was saying it's nonfiction. It's basically he's saying it's like textbooks.
Not happening. What is his IQ?
I don't know what his IQ is, but he's saying it's pretty high. He says he's always been a genius.
Please? Like what is
Girl hand
IQ?
Cat Williams IQ, right?
Because like I want to understand, like, do we have another Kanye on our hands? And like nobody is, we're just saying.
Okay, wait, hold on. What's another Kanye? What is Kanye? Because I think we're gonna disagree on this one right here.
No, Kanye is. I mean, the world says that he's somebody who battles with mental
health. Okay.
Issues.
Right.
Is this something?
I think so. Right. I think okay. We're gonna agree then.
And not acknowledging.
I think so. And we spoke about that. Girlhan and myself spoke about. When I hear him talk, I could hear a tinge of mental health. Like, okay, but I don't want to diagnose people. I'm not a doctor, but I'm like,
yeah, but
there's something here. Yeah, there's something here. There's something
that's off. Yeah.
Yeah, something's not right. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's also something that the black community never talks about. We never talk about mental health.
No. Remember, in Jamaica,
have somebody
we just spoke about this 2 weeks ago on one of the contents that we did. Chris brought up the topic about psychologists in the Caribbean, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was telling him that in Jamaica, the way we treat people with mental health, damn right, nobody's gonna come up to you and say I have mental health, because nobody wants to be treated like that. We call him a madman, and we separate him from society. We isolate him. He's not a person anymore. He's a thing. Mm-hmm. That's how we treat them in Jamaica. That's a madman. Oh, that's not a real person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who wants to be treated like that?
Yeah,
Why would I tell you that I have mental health?
Exactly.
I'm struggling.
That is from the colonialist mentality.
Right.
I mean, this is what we know.
Right.
Them is mad. Just like Rasta, them used to call us mad.
Right.
Yeah.
Them still call us mad, but not so much anymore because now it's cool.
Right. Yeah, and I know. Didn't they have a day called what's it called? Bloody Friday, right? Was it Bloody Friday when Buster Manti ordered?
I mean, Bad Friday.
It was a Bad Friday. Bad Friday when some Rastamen were beaten. I heard people talking about it and crying recently, maybe like 5 years ago, and this happened way back in the 60s, 70s. And this older man was talking about it, and he was crying because he was so traumatized by the whole thing. So yeah, the whole history of colonialism and it's terrible. And we're gonna get into that with your topic, because I know you want to talk about the Wake Up JA thing. We're gonna talk some.
About that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. But let's get to the trending topic. So Cat Williams trending. I think it's fuckery. You guys think it's deep. I don't
Or
know.
organic. It's organic too.
But so I was reading this article, and it's from the UK, and there was a kid, a little girl. She's under 16, and she made a report to the police about some guys gang raping her in the metaverse. So she was wearing what do you call that thing? The virtual reality thing, and she had an avatar in some game. They didn't name the game because I guess they didn't want to for business moves. They didn't name the game, but her avatar got gang raped by some random avatars, and they're assuming that it was some other little kids, and they actually brought up a charge against the guys. It wasn't a real rape, meaning it wasn't a physical rape. It wasn't done in reality. It was done in the metaverse. It was done to an avatar.
I'm glad that they charged those guys. What the hell you mean? I mean, yeah, okay, guess what? We are in our 40s.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't grow up in this metaverse. She's 16.
Under 16, yeah.
She's under 16.
Right.
Which means that the world that she grew up in is totally different from us.
Right.
What we have to understand is we don't necessarily have the emotional insight into her world.
What is that? Gen X? Gen Z? What is Gen Z?
I don't know what them do with this Gen Z.
Gen Z.
But what I'm saying is that that also proves intention.
Right.
Because if they could do it in the metaverse and they consider the metaverse the way they consider it, what would stop them from doing it in real life?
Well, that's the thing though, because it's like it's not.
Okay.
It's kind of like let me just jump in on that one because the amount of people that like talk crazy on social media but would never talk to that person like that in real life. So I don't know if, even though the intent is there and even though there should be charges there, it's like, do we know that they have the capacity to physically rape somebody in real life?
Okay, first of all, we have to define what rape is.
True.
So,
true.
Okay,
true,
so
true.
so let's really unpack this. So
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting conversation.
yeah, so let's unpack this. And just so you're clear, I am not condoning rape. I think I would not be sad if a rapist was to be executed. That's just my stand. I do not condone that. So don't get me twisted. However, we have to be, when we're talking about things, we have to be very clear in what we're saying. I know you said earlier that you're intentional when you communicate. So we have to do that. And so the first thing we should do is, rape is a legal term, right? And it's when I say legal, I mean it's according to how we live in our civil society, right? And to bring someone to justice who performed rape, it has to be defined a specific way. And in the metaverse, which is a very new concept, it just came in 1992. We started calling things metaverse and all that. It's not reality per se. It's a kind of reality, but it's not the reality that we live in, the everyday reality, right? Now, that's the first thing that's going to really conflate this idea of rape.
It's the kind of world that you don't live in.
No, it's not reality.
It's not your reality.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Metaverse is a kind of reality, you could call it a virtual reality, but it's not the reality that we use to define things. Right. So we can't, the same definitions that we use in this, like you can feel me, touch me, I can touch you, we can sit here, we can talk, the same definitions that we use in this world, this verse, this universe that we can't use it in the metaverse.
Bro.
Because we don't have avatars.
Bro.
What?
How much pronouns you have to use now?
Huh?
Okay.
79?
What are you talking about?
79?
No, listen to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The world is evolving. People are redefining things that were defined a very long time ago.
Yes.
This metaverse thing, you have to understand that there's some young people who them only live in them room in this world.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not real.
But you cannot say that.
No, but I'm not saying it's not real. What I'm saying, it's not the reality that we're living in that we use to define terms such as rape.
I'm just challenging what you're saying.
And that's fine. I can take it. That's okay.
That is why they have charged these young men.
But they haven't. See, they're trying to charge them, but what are they going to charge them for? Because rape, that's what I'm saying.
Let's move through this definition here and the actions.
Okay.
She said that they gang raped her.
Yes.
Meaning that was one raping her and then others just jumped in at the same time?
I don't know the actions.
Or did they plan it together?
I can't define the actions. But all I know is the basics of the story.
Considerations though.
But all I know,
considerations, because like I'm saying, it's still the intention. Because again, if you are living in a world, right? Where everything that you do is real. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you do, you put this on, you get yourself ready in your avatar and you live your life in your avatar. You are so invested in this world. I think because I'm a writer too, I can understand.
So if my avatar kill the next avatar, am I supposed to be charged for murder?
It depends on the conditions. And
really?
The intention again, no. You see, for me, again, because I'm a writer and also an actress, I understand what it means to embody a character.
So if
I literally become something else, and it's something mental too.
Yeah, but
would you as an avatar rape somebody?
No, I would not.
Why?
I would not. Because that's against the way I carry myself. That's against my integrity. I get the integral part of it. I get the psychological aspect. But what I'm saying and what I'm trying to explain to you is that this becomes, when you're going to charge someone, remember, you're not going to go to a jail in the virtual world. You're going to go to a real jail. So when you're going to do that, now you're taking something from the metaverse, which I think it's disgusting, but is it enough for us to put that person in a real jail? For them to suffer real consequences?
As I'm thinking about this, because laws evolved and laws are built off of previous laws, right?
Right.
And when we think about technology that we have grown up with, which would be a telephone and would be like, I don't know, maybe you could say even the internet, although we didn't really grow up in the internet, but let's say we grew up in a telephone, right? I'm sure there was a point in time where if let's say you scam somebody over the like scam in real life, one person went up to another person, snake oil salesman, that kind of thing, and like if you catch the person, he'll get charged. I'm sure there was a point in time where the telephone was a new device for society, and scamming was happening on the telephone, and the law didn't know how to build cases on that in the beginning, right? But eventually,
but both those are interacting.
Yeah, eventually they did, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm not scamming a person face to face, I'm scamming a person over the phone, but now that's still a charge.
See the difference here, not to cut you, but I just wanted to drop this in real quick. The difference here is you're interacting with the real world. So you are actually stealing people's real money. You see what I'm saying? So even though all this is virtual and you're not actually taking the figure, like the actual cash, but you're stealing people's real money, and people are actually, I actually lost real $30,000. Right, I actually lost a real $30,000. Right. So there's a thing there for that represents something in the real world, which is what I'm saying. So how are we gonna? It's the same.
So basically, like if you equate what she lost emotionally, because I know you're not going to qualify that as any value based on what you're saying.
No, I do qualify it.
Let's look at her for a moment.
Right.
For her to pick up the phone and call 911 and say, I was raped in the metaverse.
Right.
One, she must have gone mad. That's what people are going to think, right? She must be mad to think that that could be a real thing. Or two, she really thought deeply about this decision that she was going to make. Or three, it was an organic response. So it's the three things, it was either deep, organic, or phuckery. Literally.
But also too, you just sparked a thought that I just had. Like some of these virtual games, they're so real. Like they feel so real that your body reacts to it.
See,
bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like
hold on, girl. You want to say something? You can say. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to say about the emotional impact that it had on her.
Yeah.
Right? Because you talked about the physical money thing. You actually lose money. But what about the actual emotional impact that's long lasting and can cause other issues as she goes on in life?
Fair question. Yeah. Fair question. But this is the thing. So the psychologist who's on the case, that's what they said, that there is psychological impact here, and because there's a psychological impact, it might be longer lasting than the physical impact.
Yes.
Which in their estimation might be even worse than the physical rape.
Absolutely.
Right? That's their argument. Now, it's a fair argument, and I really don't know enough about the impacts of rape. I've never been raped. I've never raped anybody. So I don't know enough. So I don't want to speak like I'm some kind of expert on rape. I'm not. I'm just speaking feelings here. So what I feel though is that because this is such a new thing, as we're all saying, we're all agreeing to. As I said, the term metaverse was only coined in 1992, which is just the other day, right? It's because it's such a new thing. How do we go about prosecuting it? Because now, while we can say we don't know enough about it, and because of that, it might be worse than we think, it can also be better. You see what I'm saying? Because we just don't know enough. And how are we going to take someone who have done something heinous in the metaverse, in a virtual reality, in something that, as Chris mentioned earlier, they might not be thinking it's a real thing, which is why they're doing it, right? Because we all have a shadow as human beings. Believe it or not, we all have a shadow. Now, will I go and rape someone in any verse? No, I would not. But people can be doing it in a verse, that be thinking about it, but not actually doing it. And people should not be prosecuted for their thoughts. There's no way you can think about something and be prosecuted.
I have a whole heap more questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Now I'm thinking more about this.
Sure, go ahead.
It's VR, which means that she's not just seeing, they're not just seeing, she's feeling. And they are feeling.
Yeah, that's what I meant about these things are so realistic.
Did they have no, hold on, I'm asking some questions.
Okay, go ahead.
For a while now.
Go ahead.
Did they have erections while they were raping her in the metaverse?
We don't know that.
Okay, because this is what I'm talking about now.
Right.
We're qualifying why and how it could be deemed as rape. Did they ejaculate while they were raping her virtually?
We don't know that detail.
Okay, well, this is where in the
why does that matter?
Look here now. Look, don't make me start draw some bumble clots in here.
Because that now goes to because you said there are real, like in the phone example, you said there's real world consequences. You lost a physical money, and so what we're talking about here is because with virtual reality, there are physical responses that happen in the body as a result of the virtual reality.
Hold on. There are psychological.
You still don't answer my question.
But hold on. There's psychological things that are causing physiological reactions. It's almost like I'm watching porn, right? And I don't know the actors on the porn. I don't know them at all. But I get stimulated from watching porn.
That's fine.
It has nothing to do with Sloppy Sandy.
It's consensual. Because they recorded the porn and you are watching it.
But they didn't give me access to them.
What you mean? They recorded this and it's on a video unless you are watching somebody's sex video,
Sloppy Sandy didn't give me access to her.
Well, bro,
but I'm still watching it, and
even that is an element of rape. Then if Sloppy Sandy did not give you access to her vagina and seeing her vagina. Right. That is also virtual rape.
No, it's not.
No. The porn example is not a good example because the porn example not a good example because with the porn, like if you're watching a porn, obviously they're making a video to be consumed by public, versus if somebody made a private video for just them and their lover, and then it gets out. Like, that's a charge.
That's almost like, but Chris, that's almost like saying because someone dresses provocatively that they deserve to be touched. Like, it's the same kind of. Or deserve to be stared at. Let's say not touched. Let's say deserve to be stared at. Oh yeah, you're just stared at
and being touched. Is that there's a line?
But if you're staring at me, you know that could be cause for sexual assault.
Yeah, man. This is
if you're looking at me a certain kind of creepy way. Yeah,
of course.
But that's what I'm saying. So, but not because someone's dressed scattily clothed doesn't mean that they're supposed to be stared at.
No, absolutely.
No. And they're not inviting you to do that either.
Walking in the fucking metaverse don't mean that you can fucking rape her.
No, but I'm not saying
it's the same premise.
Donisha, I'm not saying she's supposed to be raped. But what I'm talking about now is when we're extrapolating the rape in the metaverse to now actually putting these whomever is responsible in real jail.
Bro,
I think there's an issue with that. I don't know that move. That move, I agree. I'm not sure.
Maybe it doesn't have to be as intense as jail.
Right.
However, precedence needs to be set.
Right.
In this moment, they also need to study those young people until they get into adulthood and like record their data, because they have a prime example of a social experiment or a case study.
Okay, Donisha, can I ask you something?
Yeah, man.
If we're playing Halo, right?
What is Halo?
It's a video game that they shoot people.
Never.
Okay, Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
Something that's really very, very violent.
That's interesting. Let's talk about Grand. Go ahead. About
Grand I go and I carjack you, and put 2 bullets in your head in the metaverse, right? Am I supposed to be charged for murder and carjacking?
No. Let me.
Why not?
Because you and the person are playing together, right? Like, it's not how Grand Theft Auto works.
But it's still murder.
Yeah, but you guys are playing a game together and you're conscious about that, the game that you're playing a game
right,
together.
But the person didn't give me consent to kill them. Murder is murder, right?
But you know that you can also be killed in Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so then you sign up to potentially be killed. That is a not good example.
I think we're talking about the parameters.
Hold on. But we're talking about crime.
Yeah, but
is that what we're talking about? Okay.
I just want to tie something in about.
Okay, go ahead.
Because it's interesting that you go there.
Right.
Because there's a case right now. This is many, many years ago. About a kid, a young man, who was deep into Grand Theft Auto. Deep.
Right.
Deep to the point where he's playing the fucking game and get up out of him chair and go do exactly what the fuck he was doing in him game.
Right.
He went, him go rob a store, him go fucking shoot up some place, thief a police car, drove right back home with his chips and went back into the fucking game. That's where they found him. Right. He didn't even realize he was out of the game.
Right.
Whoa.
So what you're saying to me about this illusionary connection, people are deeply invested in these things.
Okay, can I explain something though? I'm not saying, see, my argument is not that people aren't deeply invested. I'm not saying people can't be affected psychologically. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not making any of those claims. The only claim I'm making is that I'm not sure the move from the metaverse to our reality that we currently are experiencing should be made when it comes to justice. So much so that specifically the argument we're talking about rape, I don't think those guys who raped in the metaverse should be prosecuted by real laws and be sent to real prison.
Well, here's the thing.
What I'm saying.
Should they not be prosecuted specifically for rape or a rape-related charge, or could they still be prosecuted for some kind of bullying, cyberbullying, or because cyberbullying, that's very real charges nowadays, right?
So now, according to the definitions, I would more be inclined to say yes, because they're having an effect on the person's psyche, right? Because the scenario you just gave about her picking up the phone, making the phone calls, that's because she's affected psychologically, right? Now, a part of us being affected psychologically is our responsibility, but a part is also the environment, right? So the environment has to take some kind of, and especially she's underage, she's a youngin', right? So
that too,
a younger person, right? We have to protect her kids. We have to protect what's going on.
And all of this is disgusting. They raped that little girl.
Damion, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you ever put on one of those VR things over your head?
No.
Okay, so that's why you
But
don't.
Mario.
So no, it's not the same. It's not the same
thing. The whole point is the VR is supposed to.
I didn't say it's the same.
No. But
did I say it's the same thing?
No, but you said you play
Mario. because I'm trying to give you an insight into what I think it is.
Right, but it's not. It's not.
It is. It's a virtual world.
No, but putting one of those things on, you literally.
It seems real, of course. It seems real.
Like when
it's an illusion. It's an illusion.
Okay.
No, are we getting into George Berkeley's idealism?
No. But the point I'm trying to make is that what Donisha said earlier about these kids are so invested into this virtual world that is their reality.
But I agree. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. What I'm saying is the move that we're making from the virtual world to the real world, I don't think we're there yet.
And I think that's
still murky.
I think that's something that they need to look into a little bit further, because this is not the first time it's happened.
No. Right. And they still haven't solved it.
Right. So I'd be interested to know how they handle the situation and how they move forward later on.
Right.
Right? Because if not now, it's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to have the psychological effect on 100%. Whoever.
Also, are we allowing our kids to do too much?
Right. Now, that's another question.
That's a bigger question.
That's a bigger question.
We don't even have enough time for that right now.
That is a bigger question.
We're allowing our kids to do too much. Because now, imagine you're in a, you can say, Tony, could you not play this game? And you say, Mom, it's just a game, right? Okay, fine, it's just a game. And then you leave them. And then now you're going to be calling the police because someone stabbed you in a game and you're psychologically damaged. So now I have to be like, Tony, no. You have to leave this game alone. Because now it's getting to a point where it's not just a game, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's more than a game. Right? And this is what you guys are saying to me. Mm-hmm. So are we supposed to pay closer attention to our kids when it comes to this kind of stuff?
Yes. And I think also, too, just on both sides of things. So like from the game maker or the platform maker, more I guess preventative measures have to be put in, and it's going to become a thing where, like, because this is going to happen more, at some point in time, law is going to have to be proactive and set the precedent as
it's gone too far. So you just said game maker and you sparked something that probably people don't understand. So there's a difference between the metaverse and the virtual reality. Mm-hmm. So the virtual reality taps into the metaverse. Mm-hmm. So the game makers are tapping into the metaverse. Mm-hmm. So you can make a game as carefully as you want to, but then people can infiltrate that game from outside because you're in the metaverse. Once you insert yourself in the metaverse, you're just in the metaverse.
Okay.
And there's no protection.
Okay.
Right. So it doesn't matter how carefully you make the games. It's just once a person is developing that avatar and they're in the metaverse, that's what it is.
So then we're gonna have to start treating that as reality. Then,
right?
We are gonna have to start treating that as reality.
I think this is the very next. I guarantee you, a year from now, we're gonna be having this discussion. Oh, are we in the metaverse or not? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's interesting because parents, they have to worry about their kids outside and what they're being exposed to. Now you have to worry about, your kids in the house, they're playing their video games. You think they're quote unquote safe.
Right, but they're not.
But are they really safe?
Right, because little what's her name? Alicia, I don't know what her name is. Little Alicia now is psychological.
Yeah, it's a really scary world out there.
I'm stressed out. I'm gonna be thinking about it. Like, did those little boys come? When they what you mean? Because like you're really letting me think about this thing now, because like they raped her in the metaverse.
Yes.
And people are trying to decide whether or not they raped her.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't even be a thing. They raped her. The question is, how are we going to punish these young men? It's not if they're going to get charges or not. It's what level they're going to have to answer to, because it is not fair that she went through something like that with their intention, and if they physically responded. Let me ask you a question.
I don't agree with that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If one of these young men who raped her physically ejaculated after raping her, do you consider that to be rape?
No.
What?
That's not rape.
Let's move on.
You're joking, right?
That's not rape.
On because
this is why it's not rape. This is why.
Wait, you're joking, right?
No. Okay. Is he a creep? Is he
a creep?
Is
Bro, let's just move on to the next topic.
Denisha, hold on.
Too much time. We have 5 minutes until an hour.
Denisha, listen. Listen. Is the person who the boy? Is he a creep? Is he probably a criminal mind? Yes. He didn't commit a crime.
Did he do it against her will?
Right.
But
I didn't ask you, but it's a yes or no question. Did he do it against her will?
But what are we talking about?
Two questions. What do you mean?
But we're not. You see, I can't answer your question because we're not talking about the same things.
No,
we're talking about different things.
You're talking
a will. Okay, doing something against someone's will is actually doing something in reality, not metaverse.
That's how you're trying to answer the question?
No, but it's true though. I can't say, oh yeah, so they did it against her will, but she was in the metaverse.
This is how white people behave with black people. White people
white.
don't understand. White people don't understand what it's like to be black, and it's because they don't have emotional insight into the world. It's not their reality. And
Okay, wait.
So that you're saying I'm sorry to break it down to that, but that's the simplest way I can try to explain.
But how are you saying I don't have emotional? What am I? What don't I?
Don't have insight into what it is like to live in that virtual world. You've never even put it on your face. So what I'm saying is
Donisha,
it's
a virtual. You just said to me a virtual world, and you're talking about will. We're talking about avatars and we're talking about people. Right now, is the avatar you? No. So how can that be against your will? The avatar is not you. So I can't say yes, it's against her will because the avatar is not her. The avatar is a representation of her, but it's not her.
Okay, I just needed to ask a few final details.
Yes.
You just say avatar, just to be clear. When she's wearing this thing, again, is she feeling everything?
No, I don't think she's feeling anything.
Or is she just at a computer watching them rape her and be like,
so
what is happening? I'm trying to understand.
So she's watching them rape her at the computer, but psychologically it's affecting her because that's her avatar. It's a representation of her. So in that sense, yes, psychologically she's attached to the thing. So it's almost like they're actually raping her. But see,
what the fuck do you think they're doing when they're raping her? You think they're just clicking like?
And
what
to be honest with you, that doesn't matter to me, and this is why it doesn't matter to me. Not that it's not important, but it doesn't matter to me because, see, if I'm walking down the street shirtless, right, and some lady is sitting down masturbating to my chest or something like that, right? Why would I care? Like, I don't care what you're doing. You're just being a creep on your own. That has no effects on me. I have to. If you're trying to come in front of me and try to touch me, and then that's a different ball game. But if you're sitting on and you're just watching me and you're doing your weirdness, that don't matter to me.
Yeah, but people will get charged for that though.
But what I'm saying is, she's asking me a question directly. If that person is at home, the little boy is at home coming, right, after raping the little girl, is he psychologically deranged? Of course he is. Is he committing a crime? I don't think he is, because crime is a specific definition.
That's why
we're not in the same world, so it can't even be. And this is what I'm saying: the move that we're making from the metaverse to the real world, I don't get that move, and I don't think it would be fair to have that weirdo who's in his basement coming be sent to prison. I don't think it's fair.
So when he does it in real life is when you think it will be fair, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What about?
You are an idiot.
But unfortunately,
because what I asked you a while ago is when he does it in real life, that is when you will think that he deserves
when he rapes someone in real life.
Yes. Because it's when. It's not if, bro. That's what I'm trying to show you. But the intention of you raping somebody in a virtual world shows intention for the real world.
But intention is not enough for you to put someone in jail.
No, man, they have to get some kind of.
We're not in Minority Report.
You know what? That's going to become a much, much greater issue when we start doing this Neuralink. Because that's one of the things that's talking about but it's leading there. So in leading there, even though we haven't started doing that, if we know the technology is going that way, and we know we have, let's say, the crimes in the metaverse, which is a gray area. It's legally and technically a gray area right now, right? Morally, it's not, because we're talking about the technicality of law versus the morality of it, right? I think is what a lot of this conversation.
There's no morality to law.
No, the of the rape of the virtual rape, not of the law, but of the virtual rape is what we're talking about, right? So, like we are going to get to a point where it's kind of Minority Report like,
right?
Once we're more tapped into when things like Neuralink come in, because people are going to be reading each other's thoughts essentially, and now whatever bad-minded things you have on your mind, that can go on a database, or that will connect with somebody else, and that's going to affect somebody else in a certain type of way. And so like that's the extreme part of it, or let's say that's maybe the end game part of it. And right now we're in the middle, we're in that awkward in between stage where it's like, how do we legislate
we'll never
this?
Get there? You know why we never get there? So there's a writer. His name is Alfred White Northhead. I think that's his name. I might be messing it up. And North Whitehead, his name is. So what he said was, we have thoughts so that we don't die, right? And what it means by that is that sometimes you think something, right, because of how informed or how developed you are. You just don't know enough. And then you realize later on that, oh, shoot, that thought was just stupid, right? And it's a good thing you thought about it as opposed to acting it, because then maybe if you had acted it, you would have probably hurt yourself or hurt someone else. But then because you thought about it and the thought passed and nothing happened, then now you can say, ooh, good thing I learned now. I know better, right? Which is why it's important for us to not go into the direction that you're mentioning, because someone can have a thought, right? And it could be a bad intention, but that's just because of the stage of their development at the moment, right? But later on, they realize that, no, this is not the right way to do it. And because they only thought about it, should they have gone to prison? No, because that little kid was just a delinquent in that moment, right? I don't know who it was. I don't know who did it, but it's a thought. It's an intention. We can't prosecute people because of their intentions. We're not living in that world.
Yeah, but remember, everything we're talking about now, like thoughts and intentions that we're talking about right now, it's internal. It's not being transmitted, right? So now we're transmitting thoughts and we're transmitting intention, and that's having effect on people around us, other people. And that's where we got to figure out.
Right, because the thought is not just kept to you. Because when it's kept to you as a thought or an intention, and you're able to resolve that, oh, that was a stupid idea. Okay, maybe I won't do that. They did it. They acted on through their social devices, whatever it is, to rape someone. Them never just stick it in one time and they were like, oh, my thought and my intention has evolved. No.
So you think someone, so if I meet you virtually and our avatars are having sex, you think we're actually having sex? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
No, well, in this world, yes.
No, we're not having sex. Stop it.
All right, but you're not.
I can't no go and say.
But wait. Here's a better question to ask. Are you guys experiencing a mutual pleasure? And I think that's the more relevant question to ask.
You're moving the goalposts. You're moving the goalposts.
No, because that's what we're talking about here, right? Okay. Because the girl felt.
No, we're not. We're talking about rape. I
understand what you're saying. Okay.
Rape is very specific.
No, but in this, you'd be surprised how many young women who have gone through this thing where videos are lost, for instance. You spoke about it earlier. And people watch their videos. And it is a rape. It is a virtual rape for the person who is going through it. Because every time somebody sees the video, it's like they virtually rape you.
Okay.
Now, it's for you, because you're going according to these terms of the world.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying, for a second, is that think not of this world. Think like a 15-year-old girl who has no knowledge of this world that we know.
Okay.
Who has never physically had sex.
I think you're misunderstanding my claim. I'm not saying she's not hurt. I'm not saying what they did to her isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be punished. I'm not saying any of that. I'm agreeing with you in that part. It's a bad thing. What I'm saying is the move that we're making to say, oh, they should go to jail and they should be charged for rape in the real world. I don't really see that move. I have a problem with that move. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Right.
I don't, because precedence needs to be set. And I think, just like how people were saying a long time, Me Too, and nobody listened. I think this. And
now a lot of people are getting Me Too'd. We're not doing anything.
Yeah, true. All of these are consequences, but there are some niggas who needed to get Me Too'd, and they finally did.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is that this may be another moment like that, and we may not understand it because I'm not into the virtual world. I do the VR thing, but again, because I'm a writer and an actress, I understand what it means to live in a different world that is not of the world that we live in, and to be so committed to this world that all you know is this. Like, she's 15 years old. Her whole world centers around this, and you're telling me that she could be taken advantage of in this virtual world too. Then what is going to happen when she goes out there? That's what she's thinking too.
Right. But what I'm saying is, at what point do we take responsibility as parents?
Oh no, we have to.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's also, we can't just completely ignore that.
No, man,
if her world is just virtual, then there's an issue with parenting.
Yeah, we weren't really discussing that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But that's creeping in. If you're gonna make that claim, that's gonna creep in for sure, because it can't just be that we're okay with her being, oh, this is my world, it's virtual. No.
That's not an okay thing at all.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But if you're gonna make that claim, that also has to be.
Young men, it was a bad decision. They shouldn't have done it. Hope they wouldn't do it again.
And I don't want you to misunderstand that I'm trying to advocate for rape.
No, man, I understand, but you said that if they came, they still didn't commit the act, and I disagree with that, because if those young men came while they were raping her on the virtual thing, that's a totally different.
I don't think it matters.
It totally matters.
I don't think it matters at all.
100% it matters.
Yeah, I don't think it.
Because just like how you can fake sex, if they weren't faking sex, that is totally different. You have to.
Whether they came or not doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, it's the act, right? It's the intention.
I hear you.
It's the intention.
Hear you, true.
It's the intention. So I think the intentions are bad, and I think at the end of the day, that move to punish them because it's bad, I don't know how to do it, and that's just my confusion. So because of that, I think punishing the guys, straight fuckery, but I think the whole idea of rape in the metaverse, I think that's super deep. And obviously, it's a conversation that can go on for days.
Yeah. No,
especially with Donisha being all mad at me and calling me.
Can I just make sure we understand what you're saying? Punishing them, you mean going to jail, not any form of punishment?
Yes.
Okay.
Going to jail, not any form of
going to jail.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that was cleared up.
It's still deep. It's still deep, and even if those guys go to jail, it's still deep, because, like I said, even if it's not the technicality of rape as what you're alluding to, it's still cyberbullying, and that's still things that people are.
There is something there. There is something there. I just don't know the punishment. I don't know how. How can we fit the punishment with the crime? I don't know. That's the part I'm confused about. I don't agree with the jail part for sure. That's just what I'm saying. But anyways, I know. So we have another trending topic, and I want to get into Donisha. As a matter of fact, I deliberately didn't get into your background from the start of the podcast because I wanted people to see you for who you are, as opposed to who you're related to, or what I'm saying? Because I think you're way more than that, right?
I appreciate that.
So I'm saying, so we'll get into it, right?
No, for real though, Damion, you really need to put on one of those VR things, and then maybe your perspective may change a little.
What do you mean perspective change?
In regards to what's real and what's...
I didn't say it's not real. See, I think you guys are misunderstanding my argument. I'm not saying it's not a real thing. I'm not saying people don't actually feel it. I'm not saying people don't actually believe it. What I'm saying is the punishment.
But if the impact is the same as the...
No, it can't be.
But says who?
No, I'm not saying the impact. I'm saying the punishment. Doesn't matter what the impact is. in the virtual world, you cannot equate that to an impact of a physical world.
So then, are you saying, creeps who jerk off to child pornography, like photos,
right?
Because they're doing it in the privacy of their home and it's not affecting that child physically? Are you saying that it's not the same effect as this? Like, are you saying that they shouldn't be jailed for this?
To be jerking off to kids?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I don't think they should be jailed. I think they should. No,
hold on, you know it.
Listen for a second. You're not listening. You're not listening. I'm not saying child pornography is a good thing. That's not what I'm saying. Listen to my argument for a second before you're using emotions to judge. What I'm saying is, obviously, if a person is jerking off to a child, that's a sick person. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Now, we're too quick to talk about, oh, yeah, let's throw this guy. What is that going to do? He's still going to jerk off the kids in the jail.
No, he's not. He's not going to have access.
But what I'm saying is, the mindset still exists.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying, so at the end of the day, this person is a sick person.
Right.
They should be removed and be treated.
Yeah, no.
So when you're saying send him to jail for what? To do what? To jerk off to more kids? Because we're not stopping him from jerking off the kids. Because remember, your intention is to stop him from being a creep.
But a part of jail is treatment.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's what the facade is. Most people go to. Okay, we can agree that antisocial people go to prison, right? Most people who go to jail become more antisocial. That's a fact. It's a psychological fact. So if you send a guy who jerks off the kids to jail, he's gonna just jerk off to more kids. How are we helping him or helping anybody? Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is to stop him from doing the nastiness. He's not gonna stop.
So what do you think the solution is?
To get him treated. He's obviously a sick person.
So a treatment facility, because he
yes.
can't be left in the real world.
He's sick. Something's wrong with him. So if you're gonna if you find it disgusting that he's jerking off the kids at home, you're just gonna move him from home to a jail cell, and he's gonna do the exact same thing.
But he doesn't have access to that in jail.
Sandy, you're missing the point. He's gonna do the exact same thing. We're not stopping him from jerking off the kids, which is what we're disgusted by. It's not the place that he's doing it. It's the act.
But how is he going to jail and doing the exact same thing?
Because he's the same person. He
doesn't have access to that photo of that child.
So we're stopping him from getting access. That's what we're trying to do. No, we're trying to get people from not hurting kids. So what we're thinking is, we're saying, if you're jerking off the kids at home, chances are if you see a kid, you probably have sex with them. That's basically what we're saying. So to prevent you from doing that, we're going to put you in prison. Because it's not just the jerking off the kids pictures while we're putting him in prison. It's because we're trying to prevent you from doing something more than that. Because who cares if you jerk off the kids? You're being an idiot. You're being a weirdo. We just don't want you to actually have sex with kids. Do you get what I'm saying? Are you understanding what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
It's not the actual jerking off the kids that's bad. It's we don't want you to do worse. So we're going to take you and put you in prison. So you put him in prison, he's still going to jerk off the kids. We're not stopping him.
But how is he going to... Maybe I'm confused as to how is he still jerking off to kids in
Okay, because he still has the same mindset.
Right, but he's not having access
He can think about it and still jerk off the kids. Do you get what I'm...
Am
I speaking Spanish?
No, I get it. It's because you're talking about like rehabilitation versus like just corporal punishment, which most... If I understand correctly, I only came in the middle of the conversation. But if most punishment is more about corporal punishment than rehabilitation, and
I'm talking about what we are deeming to be the crime. I know you're talking about the punishment. I'm talking about
Oh, you're talking about
the crime here. If a guy's jerking off to child pornography, the crime here is that we think you're that dangerous because you're doing something that out of this world that you might do worse. That's the assumption.
No, I think the crime, like specifically to like, somebody jerking off to kids, I think the specific crime of it is the fact that you have lewd pictures of children who did not consent to you.
Chris, the assumption here is that you have lewd pictures of kids and you're jerking off to it means that you'll do worse if you actually see a kid. That's the assumption.
But the assumption is not the crime, though. That's the thing, right?
That is what leads to the crime. The assumption that you will do worse is what leads to the crime because we're trying to prevent you from actually doing worse.
Yeah, but
wait, how's that any different than what Donisha was talking about because you're talking about the assumption would lead to worse, which is why you put them in prison. That's exactly what Donisha was talking about.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's what we've created a whole law in a physical world about that.
Yeah.
We didn't move it to a virtual world.
Yeah, but the photo is not physical. The photo of that child,
but the assumption,
you don't have access.
This is why I'm talking about the assumption.
Yeah.
Like, so the assumption that this is such a heinous act that we cannot even allow you to even perpetrate that act. This is why we got to that point. Really and truly, a guy jerking off to a child doesn't really do anything to anybody. It's a creepy act, but he didn't do anything to anybody. He's just a weirdo, sick in his head. We're assuming that because you're doing that, you can do way worse. We're not going to allow you to do it. We're not even going to get there. Stop it right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it is. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the virtual thing might get to that point, but he didn't get there yet. So I don't know.
So it's too early. Oh, okay, so you're saying it's too early right now. Okay.
No, I think we're there.
Right. So, but I know it sounds bad that I'm saying a guy who's jerking off to child pornography isn't really doing anything, but he's not doing anything. It's the assumption that we're making behind it. Okay, if you can do that, what can't you do? Exactly. I don't want to actually see you hurt that child.
No, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So society's saying, we're not taking no chances with this. You're a weirdo, you're going to go to prison. Mm-hmm. But we didn't actually change him. He could sit in the jail cell and still think about those weird thoughts that he have about kids and then still do stuff.
So that means that there needs to be more rehabilitation in
That's what I think.
Jail. Okay, that's a
I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
We all agree with that. That's a totally different conversation.
So now we're going to start the camera rolling again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So
it's
Gerhan, can you play that video for us?
Please and thank you.
Thanks, Andy. This is Gerhan show.
Okay, I'm going to play it now.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, it's Jackie.
Jackie. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. I was just calling because it's been a while since I've seen you, and I'm in your neighborhood. You want me to come by?
Oh, I ain't tripping. You can do that.
What does that mean?
It means you can come through.
But do you want me to?
It don't matter. I'm not tripping.
Look, Mark, if you don't want me to come by, then just say it.
What? I didn't say I didn't want you to come.
Then what are you saying?
I just said you can come by.
But do you want me to come by?
I'm starting not to.
Then why in the hell you didn't just say that in the first place?
Hold on. Let's hit the pause button for a minute. All I'm saying is it's cool if you come by. But if you don't, I won't be mad at you.
So you're basically saying you're not looking forward to me coming by?
Oh my God! Oh, she's killing my vibe. Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
All right. So I heard that clip, and I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention because I think it's so typical of men and women. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're talking, and as I was saying earlier, and I think we're doing some of that here too. We're just speaking past each other. We're not really speaking to each other, and it's a weird way to communicate. But I think, and this is just my opinion, I think this is one of the main problems between men and women. What do you guys think?
I think that was a bad clip. Yeah, I don't think that did the girl very well at all. Like I heard,
but it's
so many layers.
I've seen situations.
A lot of arguments do like start from something like that, and it's just
that she was in her 20s or something, 30s with an issue. Like when you're like us, well, me, I'm married with a son now. Like it's a totally different conversation that we're having. Like, it's not all of that. I heard so much in her voice. I heard the insecurity. I heard the inner monologue. I heard her expected him to read between the lines, and he was just probably, like, eating a sandwich and watching his favorite show.
Right. But that happens a lot.
You know, and she's so invested. She spent hours getting herself ready. She chose her outfit. She did her nails. She's been thinking about this moment all week. And then when she calls to say that she's in the neighborhood, hint, hint, he's going to be like, oh, yeah, whatever. She's totally crushed. There's a whole like movie happening in her life that he's not a part of. So like you're right. We live in different worlds.
But that happens quite often, and it's a problem. It's a problem, and this is why I wanted to bring it to our attention, because I can't tell you how many times I'm having conversations. I'm like, but hold on, wait, am I missing something? Like, am I saying something weird? Because what I'm responding to is not what she's asking, right? Even though we're speaking the same language, English, we're not speaking the same language. You see what I mean? And how do we get around this?
That's a good question, and I've been trying to figure that out. I've been trying to solve. I've been in so many situations, particularly like, you know, past dating situations where it's like, hold on. Every time I'm speaking apples to you, you're responding to me with oranges, and I don't know what to do about that. Like we're not talking about oranges. Like, we're talking about apples. Like, why are you coming at me with oranges?
But
and I literally say it like that.
We can be more specific. For example, and I think your breakdown of it was pretty good, to be honest. He's thinking, okay, you say you want to come through. I'm taking you at face value. You want to come through. Okay, no problem. But if you don't, it's okay too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting no pressure on you. But for her, she's not asking if he wants her to come through. She's asking, are you desiring me? That's what she's really asking.
Yeah.
And that's not what he's answering to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, why don't you just ask that? Just say, Mark, do you desire me?
Who's gonna ask that?
but then you're getting mad because he's not answering. Because you're not.
Had a woman say that to you before?
Say what?
Do you desire me? Or are you desiring me?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? In the same words or
yeah, in those words. That's what you're saying.
Or in the same sentiment.
Do you want me? Of course, people say that. Do you want me? Of course, I've heard that before. Wait, what do you mean?
No, yeah. I would agree with that.
She was probably older. She was probably more confident. She was probably more settled in herself.
No, younger girl. Not settled at all. Do you want me?
Okay, so then she was.
Do you want me or not?
Flyby thing.
I don't know what the intention was. My answer was no.
Yeah, because this girl here, like, I'm here doing a whole character breakdown. Like, she wants to be his girlfriend, or she wants to be deeper invested, because that's why she's calling him. Be like, hey, I'm Bravey, rah. A girl who just wants, I'm going to be like, yo, I'm in your area. She's not asking for nothing else. She's coming for what she wants, but like, she needs you to respond deeper.
She needs to be desired.
Yeah.
But the question I have,
people need healing. That's the answer to what you're talking about. Yeah.
Because why don't you just say it? Just say it. Just
so
say.
We can start to listen to each other and then just say what we need to say.
But it's sometimes I think even when we listen to each other, we're not hearing it, because you're from Venus and I'm from Mars. Something, and I'm like,
it's going through all the filters, all your life experience filters, and all that.
And so the solution is actually hearing what the person's saying.
The solution is actually saying what you want, and don't have weird expectations when you don't really put out the tentacles properly. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't put it out there to say that really and truly I expect you to want me and to give me, to roll out the red carpet for me when I'm asking you to come over, but you didn't really put that out there for me. How do you expect me to respond?
That's a good point.
Sometimes you need to be a little bit more intuitive. Like,
it's hard.
It's hard to be intuitive.
It's hard.
Then practice.
Okay, how?
Women are intuitive all the time.
Yeah, right. Men are intuitive all the time when you guys want to be.
Exactly.
Not really.
No, that is a really good point. When they want to be. No, I've seen men be so intuitive because they want something, and you know they want something.
No, I think that's a case by case basis. Mm-hmm. And I have told, again, going back to like previous women who I've dated, I've told them, do not talk circles around me, because I can't pick that up. And if you say something, you mean it, and you mean what you say. Like, don't do this talk in circle stuff, because I don't have the intuition that I can understand. I can listen to you very well, but I don't have that intuition to, like, if you're not speaking directly, like, and you mean something else, I can't pick that up. Like, I'll pick that up like 10 or 20% of the time.
I don't have the intuition. I don't have the patience.
Okay, and you guys don't pay attention.
No. I pay attention. I pay attention.
What you just said is that if she doesn't say it, then you don't see it, you don't feel it, you don't observe it, you really haven't paid attention.
So
the last thing I want to have to do is say something.
So let me push back just a little bit on that. A lot of times when I say this, it's usually communicating with somebody via phone or text. And that's horrible, right? Yeah. What you're talking about, I imagine, intuition, is talking to somebody in person, right? And also, too, I think how long you know a person helps that as well, too. Like, those two people sound like they don't know each other that long, right? Over time, and the more time you spend with somebody in person, that's when the intuition can get better and can pick up. But a lot of the times, or my personal experience, it hasn't gotten to that stage where it's like I can just automatically know what you want. You know what I mean? Or automatically know what you mean. So the practice of intuition, that comes with time spent together in person.
And paying attention.
Yes. But most interactions, especially nowadays, and especially as we're talking about things being more in virtual worlds and social media and all that stuff, we don't get to that place, right? And we don't get to that place as quickly as maybe, in the 90s or whatever.
I also think a huge part of it is just not wanting the same thing. You know what I mean? Obviously, Mark and whatever her name is don't want the same things.
True.
You know
what
I mean?
That's part of it.
It doesn't sound like it sounds like Mark just if he gets it, he'll take it. But really.
Absolutely.
And she wants him.
Right.
So I think that's a huge part of it. So it's expectations. You set your expectations too high, and then the person doesn't meet it, and then you're gonna get mad, and then you don't explain properly when you're mad because rationality goes down, and blah blah blah. It's just that kind of stuff, and I don't know if we're cognizant of that enough for us to get past it. A lot of times and this is actually a thing, the teeter-totter, where emotions and rationality are on the seesaw, and as soon as you start getting emotional, rationality goes down, right? And then we don't realize it. We think we're in the same rational mindset, but you're not. The emotions are going up, and you're saying the craziest things, and you're not even realizing it.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So it's this stuff that we have to bring to the forefront of our minds, and pay attention to it. Because it's getting too difficult, man. It's getting too difficult just to have simple conversations. I can't do it. I can't do it.
No,
I can't.
So work out your brain and your heart will muscle some more, because that's the second time you said you can't.
I can't what?
You can do it.
No, man, it's tough. It's tough.
Name 3 things that you can do.
I can't.
No. It's not I can't.
We are grateful.
It's not I can't. It's I don't want to.
But this is the thing. This is the thing, though. But come on, when I say I can't, obviously I don't mean I can't. I'm just expressing myself.
Say what you mean. That's what you
right. Right? You said you should say what you mean.
I walked into that one. That makes sense. Okay, Donisha. I think it's something that we need to pay attention to. Just communicating with each other, from both species, males and females, men and women, however you want to call it nowadays. I don't even know. But I think it's something that we need to really pay attention to. And I think the fact that we talk past each other and we don't pay attention to it, I think that's deep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. That's my diagnosis. But we've gone...
I think it's fuckery. That's my diagnosis.